Well, the Great Goat Escapes of 2023 have begun. Every year, when the weather's fine, they show us just how insignificant our attempts at fencing them are. We had a few of the yearlings there come out under the fence. Now, she had her head through, which is fine, but they got under, so we're just going to put a board across there. They tried under there, but there was no give, so that was the end of that. But they're testing the limits again, because, you know, the grass is always greener on the other side. Soon we're going to have to go over to that. This is the first one, second one, third one. We'll have to go over to the third one and work on the fencing over there. Give them access to that because the grass is most certainly greener over there. Problem is, it has access to where we've got our birds over here. So I don't know if we're gonna put in better fencing between that or open that up to the goats after the birds are done. That's just something left to be figured out. And Sweetie, for some reason, wants to keep licking me. I found I had an extra collar in the barn, so Frost got a collar. And Lucky here, I've got to double check the dates, but he's got to be getting pretty close to needing to be separated from the ladies to avoid inadvertent breedings. So we've got to do that. That'll be first priority as opposed to opening up a third pasture. My thoughts on that is they'll have access to that east run-in and we'll run some fencing around. I'd love to just fence off that whole area. They can get through this fencing with motivation, and being away from Mama is certainly motivation to get through the fencing. Why are you sucking on me? You silly goat. I'm not yummy. Yeah, it tastes funny. But we've got corn crib fencing, which is 2 across, 4 down, little rectangles, so we'll run that through. They certainly can't get through that. And that's where the boys will go until we decide who's getting weathered, and once they're big enough to put out with the big boys. But that's my best option so far that I've figured out for getting those boys separated. Because we don't need unexpected babies, do we, Lucky? No, you're lovely and delightful. But not for breeding back to your mom or anything. Yeah, don't drink that. Tractor tire puddle of water. Not a good choice. The goats have been doing well. We've got Angel and Moo Moo. Hi, ladies. Hi, ladies. Hi, Moo Moo. Milky. My dad's trying to convince me to get rid of these yearlings because they're so small and he's concerned about the genetics. But Milky there has beautiful big teats. So I think I'm going to try and breed them, see what they produce. If I'm not happy with it, then they'll go. But out of this group, I've got Milky, Tiny Peaches and Cream, aka Tiny. Don't eat my elbow. What is it with you and eating me? And then over here, I've got Pumpkin. Cake here was part of that yearling group. Her and the other black one, Cookie, were bigger. And they were big enough to get bred in early winter. Cake here is a wonderful, wonderful mother of little boy Blue. excellent mothering instincts. She's doing very, very well. He is growing rapidly. She's got a lovely little udder and teats developing. I won't know kind of for sure until we've had her, had him separated from her for a good 12 hours or overnight. But I think she's going to have a really nice milking system. Cookie, however, who is still in the barn, she won't be with us much longer. She just has not done a good job. She had twins. She lost her ligaments and was fully dilated like 2 weeks before she was due. She had her kids 3 days after she was due. She didn't come into her milk about 3 days after she kidded. The vet was here and gave her some oxytocin to try and bring on her milk. It's worked a little bit, but the kids are forever looking hollow. Like, she's just not making enough. And she, interestingly enough, before the oxytocin, she let the kids nurse even though there was nothing there. But now that she's had it, she won't let them nurse. So Cookie is just all around a failed experiment, really. Cookie is Winnie's daughter. Right here. So Monday, tomorrow, Winnie, Cookie, and where are they at? They all must be inside. I don't see them. And the Weathers from over there are going to the butcher. So, I mean, it's kind of a landmark for our farm. We've never had larger animals get butchered. We've never had goat meat, also known as chèvre. So that'll be new for us. And part of the reason we're doing it is you can't keep every animal. These guys reproduce so rapidly. Like Millie has had triplets her first year and quads her second and third. And you can't keep everyone. You can't. And I'm going for really good genetics, really good quality animals. And again, you can't keep every animal. Winnie over there is not a good animal. Her udder is terrible. She had issues her first year and she hasn't really improved much in her second. Her capacity's improved, but she's got very little lateral attachments, no fore udder. She has like no definition between teat and udder, and her body conformation's really poor. So I can't sell her. I can't have it known that I sell such inferior quality animals, and I'm not gonna pay to have her spayed to then sell her as a pet. So the next option is meat. And you know, a lot of people are going to be disagreeing about that. They're not going to be happy about it, but it is a fact of life. You raise animals. The reason you do so is you love them and you want to improve on the breeds. You always want to end up with better offspring than the parents, right? So to do that and to get the milk from them, they need to reproduce. And you just, like I said, you cannot keep every goat. You cannot keep every baby. They've got to go somewhere. And the ones that are just not quality enough to do anything, like Cookie. And Cookie's a dairy goat with no milk. And what's a dairy goat with no milk? She's no goat. So, and what can you do other than paying for a spay and then practically giving her away as a pet, which nobody needs. Nobody wants that. So they'll serve in another way. My dad's putting around here gathering the stuff to fix this gap. But yeah, I haven't done a final assessment on the last 3 girls here. Milky, Tiny, and Pumpkin, wherever she went to now. but I suspect I might breed all of them, see what I get. They're not bad conformation-wise, they're just really small. And I don't think that's genetic. I think that was situational. They had really bad coccidia, which I didn't really know about before I had my vet, which really stunted their growth. And they are growing now since they've been treated for it, but just they're nowhere near the size that they should be. Now, goats will grow until they're 4, so they may yet hit that, which is why I don't really want to count them out just yet. She's got nice long teats. She's got potential. And Milky has nice, great big teats, long and thick. So she's got potential. I haven't had a good look at Pumpkin. She's a little more elusive. She's way up there. But yeah, that's what's going on with the farm. So Cookie's babies are going to have to transition to being bottle fed. So they're going to stay in the barn for a while until they're really set on that. Which is probably a good thing for them because they're very skittish. I've not really had a very scared kid. So getting rid of their mom, which doesn't like them, and bottle feeding them should help sort that out. That is my plan. So we shall see. We drop them off tomorrow, and then Butcher Day is Tuesday. But yeah, we'll have 6 less goats on the farm by tomorrow evening. So there's the goats loaded, ready to go. We've got 4 wethers and 2 does on there. They're heading to the butcher. We're taking them up to the other lane so that we can hook the van to it. But there they go. Give room to get the van hitched up. Here's who's going. If you're familiar with the herd, we've got Winnie here. Hi. Pumpkin Cheesecake. Casanova. Which one is it? Alexander the Great in the back. This is Cookie's butt right here, and One Ear.
I'm just riding this wagon.
Yeah, these guys are ready to go. It's a very makeshift cage for them, but it's working. It was a terrible, terrible time getting those bucks loaded on, but we wrangled things and maneuvered panels and set up a funnel system to run them behind their hut and right onto the trailer.
Yeah,
So
that was pretty easy. I was helping.
yeah, they're gonna have a bit of an adventure. We're gonna take the back roads and take it kind of slow, but instead of taking them on the highway.
You focus on it. See? I like this one.
So we've already had ground goat burgers, and this is our first time having the whole meat. These are goat chops. They're looking good. Bigger than I thought they'd be.
Hi.
The burgers just tasted like beef, so we'll see how these do. Hello. So I don't know about anyone else, but I often wonder what different types of meat taste like. When I heard of goat meat and that most of the world eats it over beef, I was curious. Now that we've taken some of our goats in, I've had a few different cuts of meat, some chops, some ground goat, some goat burgers, and it's good. It's really good. I had some unseasoned and some seasoned, so I can say unseasoned It tastes a little bit like beef. Not a little bit, a fair bit like beef, but there is just enough of a difference that you know you're not eating beef. But if you season it the same as beef, it tastes exactly the same. You cannot tell the difference, except for the fact that it's extremely lean. There's like no fat on it. It's rich red meat. It's delicious. It's got a nice texture, and it's very lean and healthy for you. And I think that's great because anyone that's got an acre or two can raise up some goats for meat. I will say this though, we took in 4 wethers and 2 does to the butcher, and I don't think the does were worth it. They just didn't have enough meat. So you're probably better off. You're going to get more bang for your buck if you're going to pay a butcher to do it, to raise some meat goats, which probably the one you're going to get the most meat off of is called a boar goat. They're mostly white with either a brown, lighter brown or dark brown head, sometimes a black head. But they now have really fun colored boars. They come in spots and moon spots and all that kind of great stuff. But it's definitely worth it. Anyone can raise up a few goats for meat and it'll go in your freezer. We did get the lower legs back, minus the skin, for dog treats, and the dogs love it. It's the perfect size bones. They're not too big or hard for them to eat, but it does give them something to really chew on for a good few hours. And yeah, we are very, very happy with our goat meat. That's good stuff. So now you know.